Hey out there, everybody. Daver here, and welcome to the show.
Was
What, what,
good.
what? Let's get crazy. Let's get nuts.
Yeah.
How we doing, boys?
Good. Welcome, Chandler. Welcome, Chad.
Welcome,
Hey.
Dave.
Thanks for coming on a rare Tuesday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of weird, but we've got a match of all matches.
The greatest main event in sports entertainment history until the most stupendous main event in sports entertainment history. Until the biggest, most stupendous main event in sports event history, which in fairness hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, we're back on the retro views. We're doing Wrestlemania 3, baby. Hulk Hogan, world champ, taking on Andre the Giant. March 29th, 1987, at the Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, baby. They claimed it was 93,000 people, but we know that isn't true.
WWE never lies. What are you talking about? They've never lied to me.
Yeah, it was the WWF at the time. They lied all the time.
Yeah. Big difference.
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to do this match for a little while. After Hulk Hogan versus The Rock, I kind of wanted to go back to a Hulk Hogan match. And let me just clarify, I think Terry Bollea is a piece of shit. And I'm working on, separating the artist from the man. So yeah.
Also, I
taste.
think I said this last time. Leave a comment down below if that means Chris Benoit is on the table.
Yep, we want to know.
Busy.
Yep, and while you're leaving a comment, don't forget to elbow drop that like button, powerbomb that subscribe button, baby. We appreciate your support out there. If you like what we're doing, give us a like. But yeah, Hulk Hogan, I mean, watching it and watching him like do what he did, it was really fun for me. Like, I was a little Hulkamaniac growing up for sure. He did some shitty stuff and said some shitty things, a la Netflix Monday Night Raw getting booed out of the building. So, yeah.
Man, it's
Just
great having this be like my third Hulk Hogan match ever. Because I
Right?
don't have any of this like prerequisite feelings. I'm like, I can't wait to rip this apart. Even though I'm not gonna rip it apart. It wasn't like the worst thing ever. Let me put it this way,
wasn't
right?
good.
When we were looking up the Meltzer star ratings for this, and he gave it like -4 or something like that. I think that's pretty harsh to give it that at the time. But if you gave it that now, I don't really think I don't think I disagree with you. But like at the time, because he gave it that when it came out, like that's crazy.
Yeah, I really don't agree with that. Maybe I'd give it like a 2.
I'd give it a nice
Maybe.
1.25. So that body slam was pretty cool. And you know what? Like you could tell Andre got gassed, but like it was still fun to watch him. This was my first Andre the Giant match, and it's like it's no wonder why his legacy still lives on today. And this might be a little harsh. He was just a very tall guy, but he's great.
Yeah.
This was the end of his career. Like building up to it, the dude was super athletic years ahead of that. Like he could legit lift a car. Like what the hell? So I always wanted to deep dive back and see him in his prime, because I thought that would actually be pretty interesting.
Yeah, dude, he was like pretty fit in like the 70s and had that big giant fro. Like that Andre the Giant was awesome. I don't know like where to watch anything like that, but
I've seen some, like, I want to say it was like him doing some stuff in Japan clips, and that was like mind blowing.
yeah, dude. Yeah,
Hulk Hogan
he's
was
a legend.
cruiserweight when he went to Japan, so everyone put their working boots on when they went over there.
Like I feel like by now, like his legacy is pretty intact. Like if there were some skeletons in his closet, they would have came out by now.
It's why Hogan tried to use his name when he was getting booed. He was like, "Oh, remember Andre the Giant, brother? Remember Macho Man? Oh, I'm still alive, brother." And it's like,
Not for long.
allegedly.
Yeah, pretty cringe. But yeah, I wanted to watch a Hulk Hogan match, and I love Andre the Giant, so this was what I picked. We've got Gorilla Monsoon, R.I.P. What a legend, with Jesse Ventura on commentary. We got Bob Uecker, Hall of Fame play-by-play announcer for the Milwaukee Brewers, guest announcing for that. I thought that was kind of neat. I remember that guy from WWF. Like he did more things with them too. I remember at one point. But yeah, we got Andre being managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan,
Yeah.
another legend, R.I.P. And they, I love how they got rolled down to the ring in a mini ring.
Mhm. And the fans
Yeah, that.
they hated him so much they were throwing their trash at him. Like, you just don't see that kind of heat these days.
Oh, you're not even given a bottle cap anymore when you buy
Yeah.
a water at the arena. They don't want
Oh,
any of that shit.
I miss throwing stuff at wrestlers. I never got to do it. I wish I could.
Yeah, yeah. It
Top
was a
wrestler
lot
you throw
more
stuff at these days. Go.
Oh,
Jericho.
That's
I was
fair.
gonna say Ricochet, but Jericho's. Well, no, because I feel like you want it to be like a heel, but like you're into them, but they're so
Yeah, that
dazzling.
doesn't have go away heat. You're
I think I
actually
would
just
do Ricochet because like he's
Loving
doing it
Ricochet.
well, and that's just the first person that comes to my head. I'm sure there's another heel that would love getting trash thrown at them.
I think MJF would pull that off.
Any member of the Don Callis family other than Takeshita. Because if it's Takeshita, I'm going crazy. But if it's like
Yeah.
Fletcher, I can throw some fries at him, or I can throw my soda at him. That'd be funny.
Yep, love it. Yeah, throwing trash at Bobby the Brain, and they just no sold it. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, so we get into the match. Hogan, obviously Hogan's cheered. He's uh, I am a real American playing. The crowd's going nuts. They get into the match. Hogan goes for a body slam right away, man, but he can't do it. Andre falls on Hogan for a 2 count. Hogan selling his back. Andre starts targeting it. Perfect, perfect heel maneuver. Andre body slams Hogan twice and then just walks on his back. That was good. Andre has Hogan trapped in the corner, giving him headbutts and choking him. Hogan sneaks out the back door. He escapes, makes a comeback until Andre boots Hogan in the face to halt that comeback. Andre gets Hogan in a bear hug. This is definitely when Andre was blown up and gassed. Like they needed a rest hold for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, they're in the bear hug for quite a while. Looks like Hogan's fading. Yeah, Hogan's fading. The ref does the whole hold his hand up, let it drop thing. And I think they did it 3 times, I counted.
There was a couple other shoddy referee stuff for the match, but I'm sure that, yeah, I don't know. They just had to get the
referee's
stick
discretion.
Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah, but Hogan hulks up and fights free. Hogan shoulder tackles Andre, but can't take him down. Cannot get the big man down. Then Andre boots Hogan out of the ring, tries to headbutt Hogan, but he headbutts the ring post instead. He's dazed. Uh, Hogan tears up the mat on the concrete floor, goes for a pile driver, which
AE dub. AE dub. AE dub.
not very believable that Hulk Hogan is going to pile drive Andre the Giant. So Andre counters that pile driver attempt with a back body drop to the concrete floor. I've never seen a more gingerly slow back body drop. Like Hogan just kind of like climbed down and
Yeah. It's like Hogan was like, my back is killing me, brother. Can you drop me as gently as you can? And Andre's like, sure, whatever, man. And so he's like, and he's like, and he falls like so daintily. Oh, I thought it was really funny.
it was good. They get back in the ring. Hogan clotheslines Andre off his feet finally. Then Hogan starts to hulk up, baby. The crowd is going nuts. He hulks up, finally body slams Andre, which apparently that really hurt his back, like, and gave him trouble for the rest of his career. Uh, if we are to believe Hulk Hogan.
I don't believe a word that comes out of that man's mouth, if I'm being honest with you. So, like, it could have torn every single one of his spinal columns out. And I'd still be like, unless I don't see an x-ray day after, I'm not believing you, man.
Yep, just like that Undertaker tombstone.
Yeah, where his neck is like 6 inches off the ground. It doesn't even look close, and he's like, "Oh, my back, brother," and it's like, "Oh no, you held me so tight. You messed up my back, brother." Like, huh? Really?
Uh, but yeah, he finally body slams Andre the Giant. Then we get the old Hulk Hogan atomic leg drop for the win. And he retains the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. He's posing, he's flexing, doing all the Hulk Hogan stuff. He's praying to the good Lord, thanking him for the win. Um, yeah, that was the main event there.
It's kind of crazy
Um,
how like the first 9 WrestleManias were all about Hulk Hogan overcoming the evil bad guy. Like
Right?
9 in a row. That's crazy.
wow, was 9 Yokozuna?
That was okay. So that was Bret Hart and Yokozuna, but that's where Hogan came out after Bret lost and was like, "Let me take that title shot, brother." Um, and I think the only year where it wasn't that was WrestleMania 4 when it was the tournament. But I think like Mania 1 was the tag match, then it was Bundy, then it was Andre, then after that it was Hogan, then it was Warrior, not the big bad guy, but like kind of the same. And then it was what
Yeah.
Sid. And then, oh no, there's what's his butt? Sergeant Slaughter somewhere in there when he was doing the Iraqi
Right.
stuff. And then he wasn't the main event, but he became the main event, Yokozuna. That's 8.
Damn, dude. Yeah, after the Bret Hart Yokozuna thing, that's when Hogan left, right?
He won the title and he had it for like 6 months and he was gonna drop it back to Hart, but that didn't work for him, brother. So Yokozuna beat him at like King of the Ring that year, so he got the title back, and then Hogan went to WCW.
Yeah, man. Another pretty notable match at WrestleMania 3 was Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys have seen that match.
Yeah.
I
Watch that.
Was good.
I wish I just planned my time out more because I was really wanting to watch that match too. I just ran out of time today, but yeah, I've heard that match is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, Macho Man dropped the title because uh, what's his name? The Animal Steel. What's his name?
Yeah.
Interfered.
Yeah. George the Animal Steel. Yeah, George.
Yeah,
Probably.
George the Animal Steel.
I have yeah, George Steele was with Ricky Steamboat.
A big ref bump situation. Macho Man's got Ricky covered for what could have been 30 seconds of a pin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it was good. I had a Macho Man box set from like 2009 or something, best of that WWE made. That match was in it, and whoo, it's a good one.
Do you
But
want to run
yeah,
through the card real quick just for the people at home?
yeah,
Funsies? Okay.
absolutely.
First match on the show. Your opening match is always important.
Gotta be a banger.
Pay-per-views, yes. Pay-per-views, Dynamite, regular day-to-day shows, and of course, WrestleMania. So we start off with the Can-Am Connection. Rick Martel and Tom Zink defeated Bob Orton and the Magnificent Morocco with Mr. Fuji. That went a mean 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Then Billy Jack Haynes versus Hercules, who was also with Bobby Heenan. That ended in a double countout at Mania. 7:44 went that one.
Satisfying.
Hillbilly Jim, Haiti Kid, and Little Beaver defeated King Kong Bundy, Little Tokyo, and Lord Littlebrook by disqualification. Who are these people? I'm sure they matter to someone, but like
King Kong
I've heard
Bundy, right?
I know King Kong Bundy. I know Hillbilly
Billy
Jim. That's it. I don't know anyone else.
I knew.
But that was 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
That was fun. Probably a fun match.
Yeah. Harley Race, again with Bobby Heenan and the Fabulous Moolah, defeated the Junkyard Dog by pinfall in a loser must bow match. That went 4 minutes and 22 seconds. The Dream Team, Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, with Johnny Valiant and Dino Bravo, mind you, defeated the Rougeau brothers, Jacques Rougeau and Raymond Rougeau.
Wow.
It was a tag team match with 403. Then it was Roddy Piper. He made it on the show, defeated Adrian Adonis with Jimmy Hart by submission. This was a hair v hair match. We could have seen a bald Roddy Piper.
Ooh.
Danny Davis and the Hart Foundation. That's crazy to think that Bret Hart was at WrestleMania 3.
Right?
It's because I wasn't watching this generation, obviously, because I wasn't even alive. It's hard to imagine, but Bret Hart was there. With Jim Neidhart, of course, Jimmy Hart defeated Tito Santana and the British Bulldogs by pinfall. That was a 6-man tag with 8:52. Butch Reed with Slick defeated Coco Beware. That was a singles match for 3:39. Ricky Steamboat finally defeated Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth by pinfall. Singles match for the WWF Intercontinental title. That's the longest match on the show. How long did it go, guys?
22.
13 minutes, 33 seconds.
14:35. You're like a minute and some change off, Chad. That was pretty good. Next up, Honky Tonk Man defeated Jake Roberts with Alice Cooper on his side. Singles match, 7:04. Yeah,
amazing.
Jimmy Hart and Bob Heenan are all over for the heels of the baby faces, and then there's just Alice Cooper for the hell of it. The Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, again with Slick, he made it back, defeated the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair, and Jim Brunzel by disqualification. That was 5:44. Then, of course, Hulk Hogan defeated Andre the Giant with Bobby Heenan, 12:01.
Oof.
Wow. Yeah, man. That was a fun time. That's when I didn't even know what WCW was, basically, and WWF was all I knew. I guess I was 2 when this happened. So yeah, man, this is cool. This is really neat. Gorilla Monsoon was incredible hearing him, and man, Jesse Ventura being on Raw or Saturday Night's Main Event now is such a mind fuck.
And he's still good. He's a little slower because he's older, but he's still almost just as good. It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, it was a trip. There wasn't that much of a difference between today's Jesse Ventura and the one from 30, 40 years ago.
Mm-mm.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, the match was kind of but it was the moment. It was
it gets 4 stars just for the time and the people involved, and you do have to lower your scales a whole lot. It wasn't an awful match. I can think of a million modern WWE matches or mid 2010s WWE matches that I've seen that are way worse than that, or at least this had a satisfying conclusion. There was a couple fun spots. Andre was fun to watch. My favorite part of the match, and it's not a good thing, but I liked it when Hogan was in the bear hug and he did the super dramatic to the camera,
Yeah.
And I think Gorilla Monsoon was like, he's reaching out to the 93,000 people in the Silverdome. And it's like, that was cringe. But it was the time, man. It
Yeah.
was the time. So like people back then most probably thought it was real. So good for them. They had their fun. But yeah, it wasn't like the worst thing ever. I'm glad I finally watched it. But nah. What do you think,
It's
Chad?
history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this before. I went down like when the WWE Network came on. I was like, I'm gonna watch every single WrestleMania. That was not a good idea.
You got just like some really bad ones. You're like,
so many hours of my life wasted.
you're on
But
WrestleMania 5 and you're like, 17's so far away and they're on
yeah,
34, whatever.
yeah, the wrestling itself was like by today's standards, tough to watch. But like this one was all about the theatrics and the moments, and they told a good story. And like you said, erase all that bad stuff out of your mind. It was like Hulk Hogan was the effing man. Feature vitamins and all that. It was cool. He was part of my childhood too.
Yeah.
And Heenan was the perfect heel. Like he basically brainwashed Andre, and like it was a good story, especially when you were a child at the time. It was like hell yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, watching it with today's filter on though, ooh, cringe.
Do you think it'll be like that in like 40 years for like us looking back at Osprey being like, oh, he's so slow and he sucked and
Yeah.
God, you could tell there he was gassed. Like I hate Osprey now because in 40 years we got like robots doing it all and it's just like they can
in
do whatever
40
they
years
want.
there's no reason for kayfabe because they just decided to make it all real.
Yeah, it's real now, brother. I can actually shoot Hurricane Ron at you.
They're gonna put CG in wrestling matches.
They tried with the stupid little things at the beginning, and I think if those were popular, I think we would have seen more. Or like if Vince was still around and he had more money, he would have tried that. But like, God, I'm glad they didn't do that. If the pandemic went a couple more years, I'm sure we would have seen CGI in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, same ballpark. Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton. That stupid projection. Oh God, that was crazy.
Oh, that was in front of a crowd. That wasn't even. Oh, Dave, you must not know what we're talking about, do you?
It was the cockroaches.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton at WrestleMania 33. They were wrestling for the WWE Championship. In case you weren't watching, guys, it was for the WWE Championship. It was in the middle of the card. It was a terrible match. And Bray Wyatt, to play mind games on Randy Orton, who had just burned down the man's house, would project pictures of maggots and cockroaches onto the map. And he only did it like twice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, what a weird time right now to watch. How many? 40 years? Wait, no.
Just about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty cool. WWF. Did you guys notice the Federettes walk Bob Uecker to the ring?
Oh, what
Or
were
like
those like the
the ladies?
WWF's Nitro girls?
Yeah. What a time, man. What a time. But yeah, I had fun. It was a quick one, so that was kind of, not that tough to get through. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, he was cool back then. Like he was a real shitty dude now, but man, that was so cool.
He's had an illustrious career, and he just doesn't have anything else to give the industry, and that's okay, And I think that's the nicest way anyone can be about it. Is you just don't have anything else to offer this industry, so you should just stay out of it.
Delicious beer.
Yeah, baby. This podcast is sponsored by Real American Beer. I'm kidding. We're not.
Oh man. Cool. Well, yeah, that was really fun. You up next, Chad, for a retro view?
Am I, or is it Chandler? Did Chandler
it's you, because I was able to do the Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley.
Oh,
Or should I be?
nice. Well,
You got to think about it. Or do you have something
no,
in
I
mind?
know it. I know it. With
Oh yeah.
the Rumble right around the corner, I wanted to do the 1992 Rumble with a tear
Woo!
in my eye.
Yes. The whole thing or a specific match?
The Rumble itself. I mean, you can watch the whole thing if you want, but
Well, yeah.
the
Yeah.
Rumble
The
itself.
Rumble. That's
Man,
fun.
we
That's
did
real fun.
Hogan this week, Ric Flair next week. Oh, we're checking off all these
Yeah.
boxes. Gotta get a Brock Lesnar match, a Benoit match. Let's just do the Lesnar Benoit match. Just knock it all out. Anyone else who's canceled and terrible that we need to talk about?
Marty Skrull.
Oh no, that's too
Yeah.
far.
Joey Ryan.
Let's just do some Sammy
Jimmy
Guevara
Havoc.
matches. Let's do Sammy Guevara matches until we're popular, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking
cool.
of AEW, do we want to run through Dynamite really quick?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Ospreay Cage, that'll be fun. It's a rematch. Jarrett and Claudio. Jarrett gets a world title shot if he wins.
He should not win that match.
Oh, I think you
Jarrett
will.
should not win.
Oh, you will.
God, it's
Shenanigans?
not believable.
Is it at least going to be shenanigans?
There'll be a bunch of shenanigans. And then Monet and Yuka Sakazaki for the TBS Championship as set up on Collision.
Wow.
And actually, Grand Slam's shaping up to be pretty good because, of course, we have Mariah May versus Timeless Tony, the big tag match of Ospreay, Omega, Takeshita Fletcher. They're building up Buddy Matthews and Okada. They're teasing Harley Cameron. Yeah, it was on Collision. The Okada, I think it was Okada.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Collision was really, really good. Takeshita Shibata was great. The Tony Storm reveal was great. Nick Wayne was great. It was good to see Joe back. Costco guys were there. It's always great to see him. So maybe it's actually getting good again. We'll see. But like Okada was cutting a promo backstage and Buddy Matthews came up and Okada went, "You bark like a bitch." And I think Buddy called him a bitch back or something like that. And so I think they're setting that up for a Grand Slam. And then I think people said Moxley J, which is like,
yeah,
it's hoping we would get a card without Mox, but whatever. He is the champ.
He is the champion. Yeah.
What else? I saw someone like say it all out. I think I said Harley Cameron and Monet. They're kind of teasing that too.
I want that so bad.
Just get all your Australian talent on the show. Give them a nice big match. Like, I think that's nice. But I think most of them are going to lose, except for I think Tony's going to win. But I think Fletcher's team is going to lose. But like, who's taking that pin in that tag match? I can't I think it's going to be Takeshita, and that makes me sad. I think Omega's going to pin him and go, "I want that international title," and it's over.
I don't know, or to maybe advance the story, the faces lose. Maybe Omega takes it. Part of the whole like need to rebuild, crisis of confidence kind of thing.
Or maybe Fletcher pins Ospreay to keep their feud going. We get one more, and wouldn't it be like a rubber match? I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I think they've kind of fumbled with Grand Slam a little bit because I think they wanted it to be a big old main event, like a really big, like all in too. But I don't think Australia is like as big of a wrestling community as like it's not just London, it's Europe.
Yeah.
So like it's easy for like Germans and French people and Spanish people and everybody to go to Europe. But like Australia is so far out of the way, so people aren't going to travel far and wide for it. But it'll be a good show.
I wanted to get your thought on Nick Nemeth actually made I think a great point about Ospreay and Omega. Like basically the gist was if they're going to have this match and that beginning of Dynamite, like Kenny and Ospreay, who really weren't on the same page, like they weren't a unit, they didn't trust each other. If they were able to take out 4 of the Don Callis family, why should we be wondering if they're going to win against 2 of the Don Callis family at Grand Slam? That's a really good point, I felt.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that, but Yeah, I guess we're just kind of back to the Don Callis family being geeks, which is, I think,
Maybe they can beat their ass for 2 weeks and injure them, and I think that'd be a great way. Be like, okay, Kenny's got hurt ribs or a hurt stomach, or Osprey's got a hurt whatever,
Diverticulitis.
Osprey's got
and
a Osprey suffering from anal bleeding. He might not win the match.
Same. We must go to the same Taco Bell.
yeah.
Vince McMahon, we gotta get a Vince McMahon match. Come on, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe they can do Shane versus Vince in AEW.
That's so gross.
I know.
Or do you want to do Vince and Pat McAfee from WrestleMania 38?
Last quad standing match.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty funny. Last quad.
How'd they get the same injury? It must be genetic, right?
Oh yeah. Well, he's a genetic freak.
Cool. All right, yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up. We got the Rumble.
Yeah, who you think will win? Put it in the comments down below.
Gonna be Punk.
No, really, it's gonna be Cena.
Yeah.
It'll be Cena.
Oh, I'd rather have Cena. I like Cena. I don't like Punk.
You have not seen enough of Cena. But I got a bone to pick with Mr. Greatest of all time. He said he was full-time and dedicated, but he's already filming some shit. Already. Come on, baby. It's their last year. And you've been on one Raw. I get to be pissy. He promised he'd be full-time. But where is he? Because he did exactly what he did for the last WrestleMania he was at, where he cut one promo and tore Austin Theory to shreds and wasn't there for the rest of the build. It was crazy. So, I love John Cena.
He gave Austin Theory cry face on that one. I remember that.
It was pretty good though, because it was like, yeah, it's all true about Austin Theory, but you did just bury him on live air, and like it's kind of crazy how John Cena just outright buries people on live air. Yeah, it's like it was an entertaining promo, but it wasn't that good for them. But like, hey, Roman Reigns came out the other side. Look at him; he's doing fine. And then the women's, I think it's honestly just going to be Charlotte, if I'm being real.
You know, I'm going to...
Jordan Grace.
Yeah, that was my guess. She's at the PC. Her contract expired with TNA.
Did you guys read that Tony Khan was offered to purchase TNA in 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was having this debate with someone. I can't remember who, but like I was like, oh, that was a good idea to not do that. Because TNA, like, yeah, they've been around for 20 years, but they haven't really grown in 20 years. And I think there's a stink that'll never leave TNA, that it's always going to be, I wouldn't even say an underdog. It's just always going to be a smaller company. And that's not it. Like, I'm not trying to dog on them, but like, I think it just has a stink on it. So I think starting new and like making it about the elite, kind of like, not really, but like all elite wrestling, I think that was smart.
Yeah, no, coming up with your own brand and all that, because yeah, there's a certain expectations that come with TNA, and if you want to do your own thing, you should just start your own thing.
Yeah,
because like the elite thing, yes, it's about a faction, but it's also the fact that you're another level of competitor. Like, so
it's why
you're able to like.
It's why every single person is all elite when they're announcing their signing, because they're like, this person is, we're the best wrestler, right? That's a corny catchphrase.
Also, if he did that, just think of it, hindsight being what it is. The Knockouts division is arguably one of the best women's divisions in wrestling.
He would have killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so I was listening to a movie podcast, like a completely separate podcast, and I heard something really interesting. Because someone super chatted and they were like, oh, who do you think will win the Rumbles? And they were like, I think Punk and Liv Morgan, right? And someone else on the podcast went, you actually watch the women's wrestling? And the guy was like, well, I review it, so I have to, but I'd rather not. Like, it all sucks. And I was like, holy shit. Like, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, cancel this person, because it's a shitty opinion, but it is their opinion. I'm not even gonna say their name. I'm not gonna even say where I heard this, but it was kind of just like, damn, there are a lot of people who are still just they see it like
Yeah.
it's the attitude era. Like they're still watching wrestling, but it's just the attitude era where women's are there just for show, and like why would you actually bother to watch them wrestle? Which is like kind of crazy to think about. So maybe Tony Khan feels like that, and that kind of feels like baseless speculation. But like again, look at that women's division. Like there's what 2 stars, Monet and Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
I don't know. It was disheartening to hear that, but it was also kind of like, oh damn, are we in our own echo chamber of like, yeah, women's wrestling was great. They have great matches.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think AEW's women's division has grown substantially and has become better since not even day one, but like the last year and a half, even. It's got a lot better. But man, I just watched a WWE women's match and it's like incredible.
Yeah.
Like the way they're like, how smooth they are. Like AEW can be pretty clunky. Like Monet and Statlander is like the peak of what
Yeah.
AEW can do in the women's division. And what do you know? Monet came from WWE.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I gotta give it to WWE. Their women's division is great. I don't really know, like I don't watch TNA. Like I hear their women's division is amazing, but I just don't watch it. Like I don't know. I mean, now they got Tessa Blanchard, so
Yeah, right.
is it that great?
Well, okay. So what I heard about that Tessa Blanchard Jordan Grace match is it was the best match on the show, but those fans in Texas, mind you, were chanting she's a racist. I've never heard that chant before in my life. Not for Hogan, not for anyone. So it's kind of
Mhm.
crazy that people dislike her so much that they're willing to chant that. So maybe you should think about like, oh, should we have this person on our roster? You know, if she's that
That's fair.
unpopular. But that's TNA's decision. It's not my decision. And I just hope the Fed never gets the idea to bring Tessa Blanchard in. I don't want to see that. If I'm being honest with you. But I think the best women's division is NXT because Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, she was Delta, now she's Zarya, like and all those other people like Kalani Jordan, and like, I genuinely think they have the best women's division right now.
Sure. Oh well, shit. You guys have anything else to talk about? Anything cool that happened that you wanted to bring up?
Just watch Collision. Saturday night's main event did happen, but none of us watched it. But because don't worry, nothing really happened. Everyone retained.
I was gun ho on continuing that, streak of watching it, but I was like, eh. I canceled Netflix, so I will not be watching Raw at all.
Oh, I'm gonna keep Netflix. The Raws have been—they're not like substantially phenomenal, but they've been better since that first one. So it's nice if I have a Monday off to just turn it on and have it playing in the background and like, oh, Penta, and then I kind of look away. CM Punk, and I kind of look away. Rhea Ripley, like when it's something I want to see, I'll watch it. And then if it's like something that's lame, I don't need to.
That's fair.
I just don't have enough things on Netflix that I want to watch.
I feel you.
I'm like, all right, I'm paying $17 a month for this shit. I think I don't need it. Cool. Well, I think that wraps it up. What do you think, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone out there for joining and watching our retro view of WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. It was pretty cool to watch. And yeah, we'll make a decision on watching Collision and reviewing that moving forward. Until then, we've got a match, Royal Rumble 1992 for Chad, his pick for the retro view. And yeah, we got plenty of stuff coming at you. I'm going to do a unboxing video for my MJF Dynamite Diamond Ring replica from AEW, Shop AEW. That should be really fun. And yeah, I think that'll be neat. I definitely want to wear that when I go to wrestling shows. And I want to kiss it. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Chad, for joining. Thank you, Chandler, for joining.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you,
That was a lot of fun as usual. And I'm going to do the thing.
Ooh, do it.
The thing. Do the thing.
Ah.
Cheerio, pip pip.
Bye bye.
Bye.